Domestic violence and sexual abuse. The consequence and benefit are both. When you stay behind with your abuser instead of leaving, keep in mind the rules do not apply to them. What is the bottom line between the rock and a hard place? This is Dr. Andrea Sears, and let's talk. What do you do when you don't recognize how serious the consequences are? And when you hesitate to make a life decision in a crisis that can spare your life, acknowledge that the consequences of a protracted and sustained violence are egregious and occasionally fatal, detrimental, and indisputably counterproductive to the welfare and well-being of the target of abuse. These consequences often afflict other innocent individuals in society and propagate a ferocious catalytic effect on the social, economic, and political, cultural, religious milieu of individuals who are impacted by the abuser. There are also toxic consequences in terms of mental ill health and psychological dysfunction in people affected. Make no mistake, life is a chess match. Every decision that you make has a consequence to it, says P.K. Subban. Dr. Andrea Sears is saying that the currency you seek is freedom, and there's a consequence and benefit or both. There you must tread cautiously. There is no rescue parachute to save you. Your every move must be well calculated. There is no room for mistakes. If you can avoid a consequential hiccup, surge ahead. Don't lose your life for unsighted devotion. Orlando Olias Batista said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it. One day I remember being told, no contraceptives. We are going to have a football team. What a provocative statement. What did I extrapolate from that? The spin doctor was trying to shape the narrative in his favor. I had no decision making in this process. And that is where the neighbor that heard me screaming almost every single day jumped into the rescue. The thoughtful neighbor, Andrea, this is your life we're talking about. You can't have all those kids with a man that is abusing you every chance he gets. This is the plan. Every time you empty the trash, swing by my door and I will pop a birth control capsule in your mouth to save you from the torture your abuser has planned for your life. My answer was yes, yes, my dearest. Any port for a storm. I want to live. I did not delay or try to run the clock out. Although she was a virtual stranger, that was the litmus test I needed to pass to free myself of the chains of this bondage. I had to have faith in that moment to champion the obtainable. It's called my prerogative. So although my pathway ahead was inconspicuous, I was not looking for a foil. The predominant contrast was at this crossroad. The bridge divided, and I was in uncharted waters. I was ready to break the ranks with my abuser, to smell the roses and the lilies once again. The Creator stepped in and rescued me from myself. When He sent that thoughtful neighbor, she was an angel. I never knew she delivered every single word that made sense to me. When I emptied the trash, she was there. What a benevolent soul, an amazing human being. She recognized the mission. There was an adequate pronouncement to create this leverage to live my true purpose in this life. Napoleon Hill said, every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it a seed of an equal or greater benefit. Did you know? No matter how deep your wounds are in this hollow, you're not alone. If you are equipped with the right resources, you can beat this. Consider the fact that the National Domestic Violence Hotline is reachable and it is available to you 24 hours a day. Make good uses of it. The number is 1-800-799-7233. To survive this lesson, you can't be on the fence, my dear. Your life is hanging in the wind. Is it practical to think you can stay in domestic violence and sexually abused relationship a little longer and a little longer? No, sir. No, ma'am. No, my friend. This is war. You must adjust your sails to the tsunami ahead, which means it is essential that the individual changes their mental attitude completely. Therefore, if you want to be free, it is requisite that you subjugate your adversary with forethought by outwitting them at their every move. And here's why. It's your job to want your sovereignty if you're abused. These words are not provocation to the abuser, but a deliberation on the disposition you should take to outsmart your abuser. Hark back to survive. It is vital that you adapt to this storm. Remember, there's a raging sea inside a teardrop. There's a storm inside a whisper. There's a silent call from those in desperation. If you really listen, there is no silence, lest you focus on the emptiness of no minute, says Susan Wagner. Dr. Andrea Sears is saying, wherever possible, the best outcomes are preventative. In the unfortunate event, when domestic violence and abuse becomes fastidiously embedded and consolidated in their trajectory, it becomes more difficult to achieve autonomy, harmony, and freedom. Susan Wagner said, you must recognize there is danger in denial. Within denial is legendary doom. Denial is allowed to grow because of those that refuse to see it, those that refuse to take action, and those that believe that they know better. Denial births horrors and unleashes darkness. Denial eats truth and swallows light. Denials fester fear and cultivate shame. Understand that denial is the virus that will take over, take life, and take away the goodness that has been created over time. Dr. Andrea Sears is saying, as a domestic violence and sexually abused remnant, you must seek out a specialist for counseling and advice, often to acquire a clandestine strategy to unravel yourself from the plight without arousing the suspicion of the perpetrator or potential adversaries. The domestic violence and sexually abused should take a good advice, possibly informing the domestic violence hotline, so that necessary, more aggressive strategies can be deployed immediately to arrest this problem at its source. Be encouraged, my friend. Be empowered. Be that fighter. Believe it. It is possible. Therefore, although fear is debilitating, Dr. Andrea Sears is saying, on the balance of probabilities in the interest of liberty, justice, and freedom, realize that time is not an expendable factor. It is paramount. If concerted action is taken, it can preempt and preclude the priori of dire consequences. It is always imperative to solicit an emancipatory outcome of the benefits achievable. We cannot allow the abuser to gain traction. Whoever wants to save their life must strive to dedicate their time and effort to make a clean sweep. Know that this is your life. And as you fight calculatingly by getting in the trenches and continually fighting to be that winner, these steps are necessary. Your doing so gives you a unique, individualistic blueprint where your self-sacrifice to succeed is paramount. The satisfaction is, family, you are alive and you made it out on the other side safely. The question is, will you walk away to save your life or stay on that sinking ship? The mountain may seem higher than it is, and the valley could possibly be more treacherous than you intend, but the fight in you is what counts. Be prepared to conquer this darkness, win or lose. You must come out on the other side blazing the trail, because that's your culpability. You will behoove a superior competitor, and that's you. You are a champ. You're not a slacker. Let no one adjudicate for you. Let no one disrepute you. Let no one stifle you. Let no one disesteem you. After being thrown to the wolves in this relationship, you will applaud the trooper in you. You will commend the overcomer in you. And that's to be commended, my friend. Brace yourself. Remain steadfast, observant, and watchful. This is your fight to win. Concentrate on the journey ahead. It's yours to defeat. To give credence to this, the apparent reason is to anticipate a better life ahead. I know you can, and I know you will. In this event, you'll continuously strive to succeed, so you can see the sunshine again, you will smile again, you will dance again. Take the time to do it precisely, and the wind in your sails will feel like heaven once again. Arguably, when you ride that wave, you will enjoy your second wind. This is not idiosyncratic. Praising this is the indispensable game changer. Let's do this, family. Let's win this round. This is Andrea Sayre saying, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon in my next talk to walk you through this quagmire and represent, family, what is possible in this life, my friend and family.